Very good morning to all my kids. Welcome to my online e-learning classes. Student, I'm Richa Srivastav. I'm your science teacher and we are doing our chapter 2. So many important topics we have discussed and the topic of today's video, there are two topics actually, children. First is food poisoning and second is food preservation. So these 2 points we will discuss in today's video. Food poisoning, the first thing is, so there are certain chemical substances which are produced. These are actually toxic substances which are produced by the microorganism, and these toxic substances spoil our food items. So food poisoning always occur in the cooked food stuff because of the microorganisms growth. These microorganisms causes so many diseases. Sometimes the food poisoning is the reason of the death of a person. The next topic which we will do in today's video is food preservation. So food preservation is what? When we keep our food safe with the help of chemicals, with the help of temperature, then this kind of technique is known as food preservation. So we can do food preservation by the salts, by the sugar, by oil and vinegar, or oil and vinegar and acids. We also keep our food stuff safe for a longer period of time with the help of temperature also. Okay, so please watch the video carefully. This is a very interesting video also. So thank you. Let us start our video, children. And please, if you have any question and queries related to the topic, you are free to ask me. So children, today in chapter number 2 of science, microorganism, friend and foe, page number 25, we are going to start after the table 2.2, which we have covered in our yesterday's video. So today we will do food poisoning and food preservation. So first thing is food poisoning. Bujo was invited by his friend to a party and he ate a variety of food stuff. I hope you all have understood this line. Bujo having an invitation for a party where he has eaten lots of variety of food. On reaching home, he started vomiting and he had to be taken to a hospital. So, what is the reason behind the vomiting? The doctor said that this condition could be due to food poisoning. Doctor has used a word, food poisoning. So what is food poisoning? This is a kind of illness in which a person become fallen ill due to the eating of unhealthy food. We can say sometimes lots of food. When we eat excessive food in the excessive amount, sometimes we eat unhealthy, unhygienic kind of food, then we will suffer from this kind of situation. So Paheli wonders how food can become a poison, because food that is essential for our life, how could it become poison? So food poisoning, what is the definition, children? So food poisoning could be due to the consumption of food spoiled by some microbes or microorganisms. So we can say that there are certain microbes or microorganisms which spoiled our prepared or cooked food, and due to this the cooked food become unhygienic, unhealthy and poisonous. Microorganisms that grow on our food sometimes produce toxic substances. Toxic substances means poisonous substances which are very dangerous for the health. Okay, they are as dangerous as a poison. These toxic are as dangerous as a poison. That is why this is known as food. The disease is known as food poisoning. The situation is known as food poisoning. So sometimes when the food is not kept properly under the proper situation and condition, means when we could not provide a proper storing condition to our cooked food, the microorganism grow on that food and they spoiled our prepared cooked food. Due to this, they produces toxic substances and thus we become ill by eating this toxic food substances, and the situation is known as food poisoning. Okay, these make the food poisonous, causing serious illness and even sometimes death. They become fatal also. This condition will become mortal when we eat poisonous substances or toxic food stuff. Then without any treatment, the person become dead also. Okay, so this condition will be severe if the proper treatment will not provided, or if the proper treatment will not be given to the person. So it is very important that we preserve food to prevent it from being spoiled. So it is a very important duty for everyone who is preparing the food that food have to be kept or preserved under the proper hygienic temperature and condition so that our food will not be spoiled. Okay. Now, food preservation. So in chapter 1, we have learned about the methods. We have learned about the methods used to preserve and store food grains. But that food are not cooked. In this chapter, how do we preserve cooked food at our home? We will learn this thing. You know that the bread left unused under the moist condition is attacked by fungus, or we can say that when the food or the bread, when you left the bread unused under the moist condition, where the moisture is there, if you keep your bread loaf at that condition where the moisture content will be greater, then the growth of the fungus will be rapid, and due to this fungal growth, our bread become poisonous or toxic. Okay, and spoiled. Microorganisms spoil our food. Fungus is what? They are microorganisms. Spoiled food emits bad smell, bad odor, and bad taste and bad color also. They become bad. They having bad taste, bad taste, bad smell, bad color. Okay. So these are the sign of all. These are the sign of all spoiled food. Is spoiling of food a chemical reaction? Yes, of course. There are chemical changes occur due to the growth of the fungi or fungus and due to the development of the toxic substances. So these growth of the fungus changes the taste of the food, changes the color of the food, changes the smell of the food, and thus we can easily recognize that our cooked food become rotten or spoiled. Right? Now, Pahedi bought some mangoes, but she could not eat them for a few days. Later she found that they were spoiled and rotten. But she knows that the mango pickle, the mango pickle which is made by the raw mango, and her grandmother also prepared this, that does not spoil for a long time. She is confused. What is the reason behind this? That a sweet ripened mango which she has brought from the market has spoiled, whereas the grandmother pickle prepared by the grandmother are completely all right. What is the reason behind this? So let us discuss. Let us study the common methods of preserving food in our homes. We have to save it from the attack of microorganisms. So there are so many types or techniques or the methods by which we can preserve, we can save our food items by the microbial activity. By to prevent the growth of the microorganism, we have to use different kind of methods and techniques, which are given as follows. First is chemical method, and in the chemical method, salts and edible oils are the common chemicals generally used to check the growth of microorganism. For checking whether the microorganism has grown in the foodstuff or not, we should use salts and edible oils. These are some common chemicals which are found in our kitchen area. Therefore, they are called preservatives. So, what are the common preservative? If this kind of question will come in the examination, so you have to write the answer: salts and edible oils. These are the very common chemicals or household chemicals which preserve the food or which check the growth of microorganisms. That is why they are termed as preservatives. We add salt or acids, sometimes acid preservatives in the pickles to prevent the attack of microbes. In the pickles, generally we add so many things, so many spices, salts and acids also. Okay, sodium benzoate and sodium metabisulfite are common preservative. These are the two chemicals, sodium benzoate and sodium metabisulfite. These are the two chemicals which are common preservative. Please underline this name, these names. This is very important line. Sodium benzoate and sodium metabisulfite, these are the common preservative. But salts and edible oils are also common chemicals which are commonly found in a kitchen area. Okay, these are also used in the jams and squashes to check their spoilage. Okay, now the preservation by common salt. Under this chemical method, we have so many things like common salts, by sugar, by oil and vinegar, heat and cold treatment. After that, we will learn about storage and packaging. This also having important role. Okay, so now the first preservation by the common salt. So common salt, which we eat in our home, which we use for preparing different kind of food item. So common salt has been used to preserve meat and fishes for ages. Okay, so from the ancient time, people are using common salt as well as the common salt for preserving their meat and fishes and meat. Meat and fish are covered with dry salt to check the growth of bacteria. Meat and fish are covered. Meat and fish have to be coated with the dry salt to prevent the growth of bacteria. This dry salt coating prevent the meat and fish from the growth of the bacteria. Salting is also used to preserve amla, raw mangoes and tamarind. Okay, so when we add dry salt into the amla fruit or raw mangoes or tamarind, then we will preserve these items for a long time. Okay, now preservation done by sugar. Jams, jellies, squashes, jam, jellies and squashes, these are very commonly used things, are preserved by sugar. All things are sweet in taste, so they are preserved by the sugar. Sugar reduces the moisture content, and thus if the moisture content will be reduced, the growth of the bacteria will also be reduced. And if the bacteria will not be there or bacterial growth will be inhibited or reduced, then the food spoiling will also be reduced. Okay. Preservation done by oil and vinegar. Use of oil and vinegar prevents spoilage. That is why in pickles we use oil as well as the vinegar. Vinegar is what? Vinegar is a type of acid. Okay. So, but have you paid attention? Like all the preservation method, all the chemicals are different, and they are used in for preserving different foodstuffs. Like salt preserve the meat and fishes, sugar preserve the jam, jellies and squashes. Here oil and vinegar are used for preserving the pickles. Okay, because in the presence of vinegar and oil, bacteria cannot live, and vegetable, fruit, fish, meat are often preserved by this method. So there are lots of variety of food, and every food have to be preserved by the different items. Like some food are preserved by the oil and vinegar, some food items are preserved by the sugar, some are preserved by the salts. Here some are preserved by the heat and cold treatment. So you must have observed that your mother boiled milk before it is stored or used, because boiling kills the microorganisms. Boiling kills many microorganisms. Similarly, when we keep our food stuff in the refrigerator, the low temperature of the refrigerator inhibits or reduces the growth or limits the growth of microorganisms. So high temperature as well as the low temperature, both are very beneficial or useful for reducing or for stopping the growth of the microorganism. And by using the high and low temperature, we can easily preserve our food stuff, and we can easily save our food item from spoiling. Okay, why does milk that comes in the packets not spoil? My mother told me that the milk is pasteurized. What is pasteurization? Now, it is a very interesting thing. Pasteurized milk can be consumed without boiling. Mean Amul packet milk or Parag packet milk. There is no need to boil it again, because these milk are pasteurized. Okay, so and it means they are bacteria free or microbe free. The milk is heated to above 70 degrees centigrade for 15 to 30 seconds, and they suddenly chilled and stored. By doing so, it prevents the growth of microbes. This process was discovered by Louis Pasteur, so the name of this process has been given on the name of the discoverer. That is why this whole process is known as pasteurization. So pasteurization is the process in which milk is heated above 70 degrees centigrade for 15 to 30 seconds, and after that the milk suddenly chilled, and then we keep and we store the milk. This is known as pasteurization. And during this whole process, or in this whole technique, the growth of the microbes, we kill the microbes. We can say that we kill the microbe under the pasteurization process. Now the last, storage and packaging. This is a very short thing given here. These days, dry fruits and even vegetables are sold in sealed, airtight packets to prevent the attack of microbes. So when we remove the air from any container, if we want to keep anything safe, then we have to remove the air from that container. Mean to say, we have to create vacuum. And if we have created vacuum for keeping our food stuff, it means we are preventing our food item against the attack of microbes. So storage and packaging also plays an important role in the preservation of food items. So this is the all chemical method of preserving food, and every food have different preservation and preservation techniques, as well as they have different chemicals which are used for preserving these different food stuffs. So I hope you all have understood, children. If you have Any question, please ask me. Thank you for watching this video, children. Stay home and stay safe.